Hello, so I am Ayaan Hafer, and we're going to be discussing Arromanches and its historical and contemporary use in regards to World War II. So first of all is understanding the names. So Arromanches, known fully as Arromanches Navarre, was the commune in which Allied troops invaded. You could think of commune similar to thinking of like a city or a county here in the US. So Gold Beach was the code name given to a specific region in which Allies had invaded. There were 5 regions, and Gold Beach was one of them. It served as an initial landing zone for the Allies. Mulberry Harbor was the set of 2 temporary ports used in the invasion to help facilitate the shipment of cargo into Normandy. This is one of the biggest things that we're going to be talking about today is in regards to logistics as it works within intelligence and military. So first off is Ground Zero. So this is a map of D-Day on the attack of the beaches. As we can see over at the 730 and the UK flag, that's the Gold region. That was its code name. And so Gold Beach was the logistical center of the Gold Zone, as it served as a shallow water port just over a week into the invasion of Normandy in World War II. So it took a little over a week in order to construct after the initial invasion. But after that, it was able to disembark several thousands of pounds of cargo and equipment into German-occupied France each day, thus helping secure success for the Allies in the liberation of France. So next up is Mulberry Harbors. So there existed 2 temporary portable harbors in Arromanches and also in Omaha Beach, until French ports could be captured for a more permanent port to drop off cargo. So they served as sort of like an intermediary before more permanent and established ports could be taken over. The use of temporary ports such as these were vital to the success of the invasion of Normandy as well, which is also known as Operation Overlord. The harbor located in Arromanches was known as Mulberry Bead Harbor, also known as Port Winston. So in terms of Operation Overlord, it used multiple intelligence and military tactics in order to be an effective operation. In regard to military strategy, a multi-pronged attack with quick establishment of cargo supply infrastructure to cement positions, as well as what I would say would be akin to a maritime blitzkrieg. In terms of historical analysis, a lot of people understand how the Germans were able to invade so quickly, and it was through their titular blitzkrieg, in which they would kind of overwhelm the enemy with such force and sheer numbers, as well as the sending of people like refugees in order to slow down the kind of military complex within that country. And by overwhelming them, they were able to overpower and then eventually control them and control that territory. In terms of deception, so Operation Overlord is also known very widely in regards to its use of deception, which includes the formulation of a false invasion in the southern flank of Nazi control, which served to reduce the number of forces residing in the area of actual interest. So, from what I understand, the story essentially goes that the Allies, they happen to find a dead body, and they create this essentially like a narrative of like this was a general, and in intelligence, there's pocket litter where, it's like information about that person. So like they gave him a fake name, a fake title in terms of military status, a fake girlfriend, and all these different details in order to make this body essentially convincing of like, okay, this is a general. What they would do is that they would slip in some paper that essentially says that the Allies are planning to invade a separate part of Nazi Germany, or Nazi Germany controlled territory. And then basically they let this body float adrift. And from what I gather, it happened to wash up on the shores. Someone found it, and once Nazi Germany was made aware of it, they actually believed it. So they took the bait, and because of that, they transitioned all of their troops, not all of their troops, but a good portion of them, in preparation for those plans for the invasion. And some of the details in terms of the invasion as well was one location, but also I believe in terms of time as well. So it was actually expected to be earlier. It was expected to be later. I think like a day later, after the initial invasion, the actual invasion that D-Day is known for. So in terms of the purpose and the context of intelligence, there exists a quote by General John G. Pershing that says, "Infantry wins battles, logistics win wars." So, in other words, sheer numbers are useless in a war if one does not possess the skill and tact to arrange them and supplies efficiently across enemy lines. Originally, Germany was able to effectively use blitzkrieg in order to win battles, but it has to do with the sheer number of infantry. They were able to win those battles, but what essentially ended up with, the war, Germany ended up losing the war because they didn't effectively think of their logistics as well as overplaying their hand in several key ways. And, intelligence is vital in such a mission because efficiency necessitates information, and information requires processing through means such as the intelligence cycle. So, in order for information to become useful, it has to be collected, processed, analyzed into, a version of a, a product, an intelligence product. And that's what was necessary in order for Operation Overlord to be successful. And so these are my sources, including the required reading and the BBC News talking about D-Day. It's very useful. All right, thank you.